Hello, you guys, and welcome to Booksxbritt Tv. I'm your host, Britt, and today I just want to pose a question. Where is the Anne Rice Cinematic Universe? Now, the reason I'm asking this is because she's one of the most prolific authors we have here in America, with over 100 million copies of her book sold. But however, it seems like Hollywood just doesn't fool with her books like that. And I was just wondering why. So in case you don't know who Anne Rice is, she's an author of Gothic, Christian, and erotic literature. She first burst onto the scene with Interview with a Vampire, which told the story of Louis, who he was this young sugar plantation owner in 1791 New Orleans, who became disillusioned with life after the death of his brother. Right, that was her debut. But backing it up, she was born in New Orleans, and she lived there for a long time until she was like 16, 17 years old. That's when she moved to Texas, followed by a move to San Francisco, where she became a part of the 1960s counterculture, hippie culture, right? And she received her master's from San Francisco State University in creative writing, right? So, like I said, Interview with a Vampire was her first novel, but it was actually a short story that she wrote prior to her baby girl dying. And once her daughter unfortunately passed away, she used that melancholy to turn into a full-fledged novel called Interview with a Vampire. Now, Interview with a Vampire didn't receive as much critical acclaim at the time of its release as it did in later years. But eventually she wrote 36 novels, including the Vampire Chronicles, which encompassed, Interview with a Vampire, The Vampire Lestat, Queen of the Damned, Memnock the Devil. Quite a few of them. I actually have it written down. Quite a few. She had quite a few. But following her debut novel, Interview with a Vampire, she wrote Feast of All Saints, which was later turned into a feature film in 2000. Well, it was actually a miniseries on Showtime, I believe. And it starred Robert Richard, Bianca Lawson, Ben Vereen, James Earl Jones, Jennifer Beals. And it was a really good adaptation of, it was probably, aside from Interview with the Vampire, the 1994 film featuring Kirsten Dunst, Brad Pitt, and Tom Cruise, it was probably the best adaptation of one of her movies, because Queen of the Damned was a straight miss. And I remember being excited about that movie because Aaliyah was in it, and it came out shortly after Aaliyah's death. And, you know, that year I was all buku crazy about everything Aaliyah or whatnot. But yeah sorry. So I was just on Amazon the other day, and I was buying some of her books because I read a lot of her books as a teenager or a child, and some of it was kind of sort of a difficult read for someone at my age, for someone my age at the time to be reading. So I want to reread some of her stuff now to see if I have a different perspective on her writings. But as I was like looking on Amazon, I'm like, they don't have any novels. I mean, there hardly has been any adaptations of her books. And I was looking like, you know, John Grisham, James Patterson, Stephen King, J.K. Rowling, R.R. Martin, George R.R. Martin, like how all of their works have been, like not all, but so many of their works have been adapted into like a TV series or successful film franchises. And I was wondering, where is Anne Rice's The Vampire Chronicles film series, the Mayfair Witches TV show, you know, what else? The Sleeping Beauty, yeah, where's the Sleeping Beauty TV shows for Anne Rice? Like, that lady has hits after hits that I feel like could work as a TV show or a film series. Like, for instance, the Interview with a Vampire that came out in 1994, I believe it did like $223 million at the box office, which was really good. I don't know why they didn't follow it on up with The Vampire Lestat or with Memnock the Devil. Like, they really, you know, they honestly could have The Vampire Chronicles being told from Lestat's point of view would be a great TV show. Like, HBO or Showtime should have got on that. Matter of fact, HBO should have gotten on that train once they canceled True Blood. Well, not canceled, but once True Blood ended, that would have been a perfect time for HBO to come out with the Vampire Chronicles, set in modern times, with this, especially with the technology that we have now. That would have been a great TV show, the Vampire Chronicles, following Lestat and all his little trifling behavior. Following him and all his shenanigans would have been a really good TV show. Or right after Harry Potter ended, you know, Warner Brothers could have said, you know what, let's go ahead and make Wayfair, excuse me, which is into a TV show, into a movie. That would have been the perfect time. Matter of fact, they should have did the Vampire Chronicles instead of doing, you know, I ain't gonna say that because I ain't gonna diss Twilight like that. But the Vampire Chronicles could have been a great thing if Universal had gotten a hold of the Vampire Chronicles. That would have been a great rival to the Twilight series at the time. If they could have been running at the same time, that would have been a great rival. Kind of like how Z Nation versus The Walking Dead, a great rivalry. That would have been an awesome rivalry. But yeah, y'all, Hollywood, y'all need to give Anne Rice her flowers and go ahead and make some movies out of Miss Anne Rice and stuff, because she has a huge following. That lady has sold, like I said, like 100 million copies of her books, and all of her stuff received critical acclaim. She has like a strong following, because I know what book was it? Hold up, let me go to it. Yeah, I remember when Prince Lestat came out, and I went and bought that book. I have never read it though, and I bought it. Sorry. I'm gonna read it though, because you know I just ordered all the other books in that series. But I remember when Prince Lestat came out in 2014, like it was 100 people probably outside of the Barnes and Nobles in Brandon waiting for that book to get out. So I'm telling you, if y'all was to make a movie featuring, you know, a movie about the Vampire Chronicles, at least y'all would make some money. Y'all probably make $1 billion off of that franchise per movie if you do it right or whatnot. But yeah, Hollywood, y'all need to do that. Like her other movie that came out, Christ the Lord, I think it came out as The Young Messiah in 2016. Yeah, her Christ the Lord series came out as The Young Messiah in 2016. It didn't do too many numbers, but it had a low budget at the time, and I didn't watch it. I'll just be honest, I didn't watch it. But it would be awesome, you know, if they go ahead and make that into a miniseries. Netflix can get the Christ the Lord series, and Universal, y'all can take over, y'all can do the Vampire Chronicles, and HBO, let's just let y'all do the Lives of the Mayfair Witches. Y'all can do that, and we can call it a day from that. Y'all can do that, because Universal, y'all been trying it with the Mummy series and it's just not working. Now y'all can just go ahead and get Interview with the Vampire, the Vampire Chronicles, and that'll work for you. That'll work, because you already got a great source material to source from. You won't have to worry about getting some social writers to create a story. You already got it right there, and you can ask her son, Christopher Rice, to help y'all with that movie. But anywho, you know, let me know your comments regarding Anne Rice and where's her cinematic universe, or what authors do you think have a strong catalog that should be on screens or in theaters. Yeah, you let me know that. Oh, don't forget to follow me on Instagram as Books by Britt, and also send me an email with video suggestions at booksbybritt@gmail.com. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace. I'm going to the Middle East.